Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hi, everybody, and delighted to be with you on this Unacademy platform. They call it Legends of Unacademy. A lot of you who know me know that I'm a little uncomfortable with the word legend, but what I'm looking for is from a lot of you just to have fun and learn as we are having fun. This is not a learning classroom session, but these are things that I've seen in life. I've seen a little bit of life. These are things that I've seen, and these are things that work for me. It might seem a long time ago, but it seems to me like it was just yesterday that I was giving exams to, and I know a lot of you are giving exams too. And I know some of you are quite stressed by it. I've done many exams, some good, some not so good. There's been the odd exam that I've been really hassled about. When I've been hassled by an exam, it's never gone well for me. When I've been overconfident about an exam, it hasn't gone well for me. So I understand exactly what you're going through. I wrote an engineering entrance exam. I wrote a NITI entrance exam. I wrote an IIT MTech entrance exam, GATE as it was called. I wrote an IIM entrance exam. So I've written a lot of these competitive exams. As I said, some turned out well, some didn't. So when I was preparing for this, I was going back to the exams that I wrote, and I was pretending that I'm writing an exam again, and I'm telling myself, what would I like to hear from somebody who's done exams in the past and has seen some exams in life thereafter, very different from the exams that you write. So that is what this is going to be about. You're best in an exam when you're prepared and when you're relaxed. Giving 100% is an indicator of attitude. Now, a lot of you have heard that talk that I did in IIM all those years ago, and that's spread everywhere. You know what my thoughts on talent versus attitude are. Talent is very good. Without talent, you've got no chance. But attitude decides where your talent takes you. By giving 100%, you are making a statement of your attitude. And you're saying, I will try as hard as I can. Now, do remember that your 100% may not be good enough. It's happened to me so many times. The 100% is not good enough. There's nothing you can do about it. You give 100%, it doesn't work out. You find out where you were wrong, go back, get better at it, come back, but give 100%. If you give 100% and lose, there's no shame at all. By the way, I'm going to talk about failure. There's no shame at all if you're not good enough, but it's a shame if you're not trying hard enough. So 100% every single time, and you can't do more. And it's a very good principle in life to say, I give 100% and take what I get. And sometimes I've seen people say, sir, मैं तो 100% दिया. You can con people. You can con people into saying, I gave 100%. You can con your teacher, your parents, your friends into saying, I gave 100%. There's only one person you cannot con when you give 100%, and that's yourself. Because inside, you know whether you've done 100% or no. And if you're going to con yourself by saying, I gave 100%, then you can go jump. You can do whatever you want in life. It won't be good enough. So this is what worked for me. So I'm going to do a small cricket match somewhere. I'm going to a school to give a talk, or I'm coming here in front of all of you in Unacademy. 100% every time, and prepared every single time. Prepare 100% every single time, and then you sleep well. And I mean, I could give 100% to singing every time. It's not good enough. Doesn't matter. But I have given 100%, and if it's not good enough, there's people are so much better than you. But at whatever you're doing, give 100%. Very often, we are obsessed with the end of the journey. Will I get admission? Will I get a distinction? Will I win this match? Will I get 100? Will I win an award? We are so obsessed with the end that the journey becomes miserable. Has that happened to you? That the journey actually becomes miserable because the journey is so full of anxiety. I'll give you an example. It happened recently. There was an England-Australia T20 game a few days ago, and Australia coasting. And they come to within sight of winning. Warner and Finch have given them a great start. Steve Smith is batting. They suddenly lose a couple of wickets, and they lose. Why do teams lose when in sight of winning? Because they're so anxious about the result that the result prevents them from achieving what they want, which is the result in the first place. And that is why teams collapse. That is why teams choke. That is why people who have studied don't do well in exams. because they are so anxious about the outcome. And something I've always asked myself is the outcome in our hands? Is becoming anxious about the outcome going to help us achieve the outcome better? If you're really, oh, I'm going to study, I'm going to maths this exam, is that going to give you another 5 extra marks in your maths exam, in your bank entrance exam, in your IS entrance exam? Is that going to make you do better? If tension is going to make you do better, just go out and buy it off the supermarket. Just go and buy it. Hoard it. But the truth, sadly, is that tension does not help you. And that is the reason people joke. The other thing is, why do I enjoy celebrating little things? Taking a catch. Well, I remember some of the shots I played at college, and so many times I said, oops, that was me, is it? I remember some. I remember so many of my catches. I enjoyed taking those catches that people didn't think I could reach. I remember so many of them like they happened yesterday. Little things in life, you just enjoy the journey, because the destination is not in our hands. So enjoy the journey. Solve a problem. Enjoy. Wow, I enjoyed solving that problem. Balance an equation. Wow, I enjoyed balancing that equation. Get the trial balance right. Wow, I enjoyed. I got the trial balance right. I played the cover drive between 2 fielders. Wow, I enjoyed doing that, because the small things are more in our hands. So enjoy what is in your hands and don't worry about what is not in your hands. And I'll tell you something else that happened to me. By celebrating the little things, the big things just happen. And several times we go in search of the big things in life, but we don't know which these big things are. You discover that something was very big many years later. So I said 79 was a big year for me. 81 turned out to be a huge year for me, because I got picked for my universities, and that was a big thing for me. It sort of gave me a qualification. 1983 was a huge year for me, because I never dreamt I'd get into IIM Ahmedabad. 85 was a huge year for me, because I married the loveliest girl in the world. You might think I'm a bit like Mumbai Indians. I have these alternate years, right? 79, 81, 83, 85. Maybe 20 will be theirs. But I didn't realize at that time that these were big things. So live in the moment, enjoy the journey, celebrate the little things. If the big things happen now, they happen, wow. And don't be afraid of going wrong. When I was your age, and I'm assuming a lot of you are a certain age, I was petrified of failure. I didn't like failure. I said, I will not fail. You know how we are, I will not fail. But because we don't want to fail, we do not accept challenges sometimes. I was given a challenge to bat at number 3 for my side and said, go there, score runs, play the next level. You'll get picked for the next level. You go out and score runs at 3. There were friends of mine who were willing to give up their position to let me go and bat at number 3. And I said, out ho gaya to. So I didn't take that chance. I've told this story many times. I'm not going to labor that story. But what happens when you're afraid of making a mistake is that you never say yes to a challenge. As I grew older and had people taking decisions and watching people, I found that you have to say yes to a challenge, because you never know what exists on the other side. What is the worst thing that will happen when you say yes to a challenge? When they asked me to do Harsha Online, or worse, when they asked me to do the dream job, Hunt for Harsha, 2003-4, thereabouts. I said, me? I said, yes, let's do the program. And it became a fabulous program. Suppose I had said no, what would have happened? I would have stayed where I was. That's it. I prevented myself from going to another level. If you say yes, you have the option of going to the next level, possibility of going to the next level. But if you fail, you're back to where you were anyway, right? So you've lost nothing. By saying no, you guarantee yourself that you guarantee that you will not go further. By saying yes, you give yourself the chance. Rahul Dravid says yes, goes and keeps wickets. Virendra Sehwag said yes, he goes and opens the batting. So many times you say yes. Ravichandran Ashwin says yes, I'll bowl the super over, and it becomes one of the I'll bowl the first over, I'll bowl the super over. It becomes one of the finest ever in that category. Sunil Narayan says I'll go and open the batting for KKR. So mistakes will happen. You will go wrong. If you make a mistake, say sorry. Go back, find out why you made the mistake, come back better. If you fail, ask yourself, did I give 100%? See if you can block that failure, come back stronger. But don't let those mistakes sit on your head. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm doing this fabulous podcast at the moment. Fabulous because of the way it's written, not because I'm involved with it. And it talks about the SLV-3 launch, the satellite launch vehicle that APJ Abdul Kalam was in charge of. And it fell into the sea within 5 minutes of takeoff. Even APJ Abdul Kalam got it wrong the first time. sometimes getting it wrong makes you stronger. So a fabulous talk I once heard Imran Khan give. Imran Khan, as a cricketer, as a captain, was unparalleled. And he said something about his own bowling action. He said he's among the very few fast bowlers who completely changed their bowling action. He wanted to be the best fast bowler in the world, but he realized that with his action, he could not be the best fast bowler in the world. Suppose he had said, "Oye, main banunga," and kept that action and not accepted the limitation of that action, he wouldn't have become one of the greats of the game on the field. So several times we are faced with limitations, with gaps in our knowledge. If we accept our limitations, then we are able to one by one start the process of dismantling them. So accept the limitation. Say, okay, I'm not good at differential equations. Not choice or whatever, or be arrogant, or be proud about it, whatever. Accept those limitations. Say, right, I'm not good at differential equations. I'm not good at fielding on the boundary because my throwing arm is not good enough. The moment you accept that limitation, then you're able to do something about it. Otherwise, you're just delusional. I had many limitations as a presenter. Many limitations. I don't want to go into my own story because I struggle with telling my own story sometimes. But I had many limitations. What did I learn from them? I said, if I don't have this face for television, right? I don't. Someone once told me I have a face for radio. I don't have that. What if I smiled? And I found that if I smiled, I was looking all right, I'm smiling. When you smile, people smile with you. So I started smiling a lot more, and that took away from other limitations. But that would not have happened if I had not accepted my limitations. If I thought I look like this model do, and I'd be that way. Like a lot of presenters who are very good looking are always giving their best look to the camera, right? No, I couldn't do that. And because I accepted that limitation, I found that energy, smile, all these things are such an integral part of television, which I would never have found. So don't crib about limitations, man. The best people in the world don't give excuses. The same ISRO podcast, ISRO, India's space story is such a beautiful story. Those scientists in the 50s, wow, early 50s, that's so little and they achieved big things. It's very fashionable to hear people say these days that India did everything wrong in the first 70 years. That's a load of nonsense. Those scientists, their audacious dreams, they had so little. And with those little things, they achieved something outstanding. So accept those limitations, then do something, go about dismantling them. Don't say, "Mar gaya yaar, my limitations now, there's nothing I can do in life." No, accept and then start. And then see what you can do about those limitations. So, can you hang in there? We are in an era where everything has to be now. You watch the news, 9 o'clock, it has to be now. Is it right? Is it true? Who cares? Right? Who cares if it's true or no? Can it be there now? And so all of us are getting dragged into a world of now is the only thing that matters. Take a hang in there. Sometimes the road is tough in front of us. These are very, very difficult times we are going through. If you're graduating, looking for a job in April, May, companies cutting down on jobs. If you're in the hospitality business, suddenly you're without a job. You don't know when you're going to get back in. A lot of my friends are in the events industry. There's no events happening just now. There's so much trouble in this world. Why it came about is ghastly, but this is not the time to talk about that. Can you hang in there? Sometimes there's a bowler bowling the spell of his life. It's coming, he's swinging the ball at 145 plus. Or it's a turning track, the ball is turning, biting. Can you hang in there? Sometimes we give up and then the tide turns. And when the tide turns, we are not there. So many times in life, you just have to hang in there. As I've often said on another platform, I have seen Tendulkar take blows on his shoulder, man. I remember saying in commentary, I've said that before, that the emperor is walking the streets like a common man. One of the greatest innings I ever saw was Rahul Dravid batting on a cold, overcast morning in 2002. Saurav Ganguly won the toss, chose to bat because the track had a history of producing a result in the fourth innings. That was at Leeds. And Rahul Dravid's job was to hang in there till the bad times clear. till the clouds cleared. The forecast thereafter was better till the pitch evened out a little bit, and he hung in there and he hung in there. Gulka made 193 thereafter. Ganguly made 100. India scored 600, bowled the opposition out twice, won one of the greatest test match innings of all time. Why? Because somebody hung in there through difficult times, used all the facilities that he or she had. In this case, Rahul Dravid had hung in there so that when the tide turns, you're still around. How did India win in Australia? Because Pujara hung in there. When the ball was new, bouncy, moving around, Pujara blocked. And when they came hard at him, and he blocked, and he blocked, and he blocked, and he blocked, and he blocked. And then the bowlers got tired, and he nicked one away through mid-wicket for 3, and he drove one through cover for 4. He flicked one behind for 2, and he won India a series in Australia for the first time. Never underestimate the value of hanging in there. The value of grit, the value of determination. It's not, everything is not over the counter. It's not, I want it now. You don't get it sometimes. As I said, these are very, very difficult times. I remember one of my captains telling me, I had this habit of going out and throwing my bat and scoring, trying to score runs quickly. And he said, yeah, chodna mat. And it stayed with me for so long. And in life, I've done a few things in life with the gifts that I had. It was only because of this principle of hanging in there. Chodna mat. Take every opportunity. Chodna mat. Because you've got that opportunity. What is your defense in life? You all have, you like to play attacking shots. Defense can win you more matches than attacking shots in the long form of the game. We like T20, but life is a test match. And in test match, it's your defense that determines how long you go. So can you hang in there? Patience is such a wonderful word. Abhinav Bindra once said, and that's something I'd like you to consider. He said there's many kinds of talent, right? He said, my talent is hard work. Think about it. Is resilience a talent? Is grit hard work? Are these also talents that some can do it and some cannot? So think about this. Hard yards, humility, it's very, very powerful because it allows you to keep your feet on the ground. I often tell young people that I meet, young cricketers, I meet them sometimes. Sometimes they don't like what I say. But I say, अगर उड़ना है आपको तो पैर जमीन पे रखो. जितने पैर जमीन पे रहेंगे उतना आप उड़ोगे. जितने उड़ने की ख्वाहिश में आप जमीन छोड़ोगे, there's nothing. When you fall, there's nothing to hold you down. There's nothing there. So keep your feet on the ground, and that is what humility does. Never get carried away. I see all this nonsense talk on page 3 in newspapers saying, oh, I've got all these fans, and it's such a problem with these fans, and I need security. And I say, yeah, tell me another thing. Stay humble, stay grounded, stay down to earth, and you'll find even the biggest stars deep down, they're all humble. I've met a lot of these people, and I've been struck by their humility. Hard words, hard yards, humility. And one of the greatest non-negotiables in life, absolute non-negotiables in life, is honesty. And I saw examples of that very, very early in my life of how honesty pays off. My brother is like my role model for honesty. I saw him when he was going through his 12th standard, all that he was going through. I'm a little kid in 7th standard, still watching my big brother, all the stress he was going through for a particular reason as things were happening in Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh at that time. And I saw his honesty being rewarded. And that was a very big example for me in life, that you sleep well and honesty never lets you down. So hard yards, humility, it's a non-negotiable in life. So there you are. Thank you very much for being on the program today. I really enjoyed being with you. I hope it was interesting. I hope it didn't sound too preachy, which can sometimes happen at my age. But I hope you were able to challenge the slides. I hope it made you think, and I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you very much. I look forward to coming on this platform one other time and maybe having a more open conversation with you, but I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you very, very much for all those of you who turned up.